So I know that was a lot, but listen, as I was praying through the book of Esther, one theme emerged to me that I hadn't seen before. And the theme was this: identity. It was identity. And when I was looking at identity, I think sometimes it's easy to go, okay, what is identity? What does that even mean? And as believers, our definition of identity is different than the world's. So this is why this is important. When I Googled identity, the first thing that came up is the way you think about yourself and the characteristics that define you. But of course, as believers, we know it's not the way we think, it's the way God thinks. And that's a significant difference, because if I focus my identity on what I think, I'm going to go through roller coasters my whole life. I'm going to be like, oh, I'm not great over here. Now I'm great. But if you anchor your identity to what God says and who God says that you are, you will not go up and down. You will ride with the Lord, because your identity is based in Him and not in others. This is identity. And so I just want you to see this. Like, sometimes our culture, we love to identify based on things. We love to identify. Have you ever been like with your, work friends, and like you can't get away from talking about what you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I used to be a product manager for a company based in California that sold these huge instruments for hospitals. And everywhere I would go, the first thing that people would ask me is, oh, so what's your title? What do you do? And it was like my identity was purely that I was a product manager working for X and X company. That was my identity. So sometimes we can place our identity in what our gifts are. We can place it in our talents. We can place it in our mistakes. We can define ourselves based on outward things. But identity is much deeper than this, right? It's much deeper. It's the way that we view ourselves through the fact that Jesus purchased us. He created us. We're fearfully and wonderfully made, it says in Psalm 139. And so the question is, do we view ourselves through who we are in Jesus and who God created us, or do we view ourselves based on how others see us, how we think someone wants us to be, how we think someone wants us to look, or what we think we need to be?